Welcome to Don't Quote Me on That. One day we will have an intro, but today is not that day. Hi, I'm Elanor.
And I'm Kalina.
And welcome back to Don't Quote Me on That.
Where we kind of talk about movies.
Yes.
And we're here together for the first time in a long time.
Not that long.
Yeah, but they didn't see us together the last time.
That's true. And I was ill.
Yeah, you finally got your voice back. It took a while.
It took a really long time. It was bad for me. And I kind of don't have a voice right now either. Yeah, we don't have to.
Anyway, yeah, we're back together. We're doing video.
Yeah, we're back together.
Here to talk
about
about...
pretty long separation.
God,
I'm still trying to get my car back.
We are here because you saw the title. You know we're here. We're talking about 5 Seconds of Summer.
Mm-hmm.
We saw them last night.
We did, which is why I don't have a voice.
I did not have an emotional breakdown at any point in time. And the universe has conspired to make sure I get everything I want always.
One of those things is correct.
The universe part? I know.
Yes.
But we'll get into all of that. First, I thought it would be fun. It's a little redundant because we saw them already.
Yes.
But I won't even make you do a full set list. Like, what are the 3 songs you would have loved or would love to hear 5 Seconds of Summer play live? Like, top 3. If you're going to a show, this is your dream.
English Love Affair, Disconnected, Blender.
That was fast.
I've been thinking about it a lot.
It's really funny because I've been thinking about asking you that question for a long time, so I don't have an answer. I think Wrapped Around Your Finger. Just because that's the best. 1, I think it's one of my favorite songs by them, if not my favorite song by them. And 2, it's just because it's not on a lot of streaming. I feel like hearing it live is what we deserve. Because it's not like you can go home and listen to it that easily.
And you can in your brain. Also,
I
YouTube.
will forever. Wrapped Around Your Finger. Amnesia, unfortunately. I do like that song, and it is emotional and sad, but it's one of those songs that would just hit better live.
Beside You, I think would have been.
Beside You would have been.
Yeah.
And maybe Empty Wallets. I like that one.
Yes.
That one's like they did a similar song.
Yeah.
That I probably would have ranked right around Empty Wallets. But I remember when that album came out, I really liked it. Yeah. So yeah. Wrap Around Your Finger, Empty Wallets. I'll tell you later.
Oh.
When we get there. Empty Wallets and Amnesia. And again, the universe is good. God is good. I get everything I want in life. Anyway, any thoughts before we get into it? We'll go through the set list. We'll go through what happened, what the show was, thoughts, feelings, questions.
I have a lot of thoughts and feelings.
Anything going in?
This was your first time seeing 5 Seconds of Summer live, right? So I saw them. I've seen them twice before. I saw them when they opened for One Direction. And then I saw them.
I think it's embarrassing for you. It's not
embarrassing. It's no, it's definitely a flex. I am. And then I saw them probably like 9 years ago with their first tour, I think.
I know. Homeboy was like, "Oh, we've been doing this for 12 years." I was like, "What do you mean 12 years?"
No,
that sounds fake.
It does. Saw them 9 years ago. With probably their first tour, because I didn't like Sounds Good Feels Good when it first came out, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't listen to them for a really long time, and I think you and I both listened to Youngblood. Is that the album? Yeah, Youngblood when it came out. And then it took me a long time to listen to Calm, but when I did, I liked it. And then the other one we listened to for the show. And then I think I kept listening to it, but you did not. Yeah.
I hate to say it, folks. I was a 5 Seconds of Summer 5 hater. 5 sauce. I'm not saying 5 sauce because that is dumb. I'm so sorry. I did not like that album. It had songs on it, and it sounded like they wrote the songs, but like it just wasn't giving Youngblood. It wasn't giving their debut album. I wasn't getting it.
Well, it was a different album.
But upon further reflection and hearing some of those songs live, and like the songs on that album that I liked a lot. Like I really like You Don't Go to Parties. I like Best Friend. I got a bracelet that says caramel. I don't know if y'all can see it. They were doing like a little bracelet swap, and then I didn't have any bracelets to swap. And then this one lady's like, "Oh my god, we're giving these out," and She didn't have any Callum Hood ones, which I want everyone to know Callum Hood will become a running theme for the rest of this episode. Like, Michael Clifford's not going to be a running theme for the rest of this episode for you.
I would never derail an episode to talk about somebody I think is hot.
I mean, we'll dedicate some time to each of them because all of them, they all had a thing that was happening. But yes, I got caramel because I don't know. You can see me now. Look at me.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I think you didn't like the song Caramel.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Oh, you're just a hater? Is that what?
I'll let you get there. I like it now. I liked Youngblood because I got that heavier sound. I liked when we got Easier and Teeth off of Calm. So like that's the, and like, you know, it's easier from the vault. Teeth from the vault. You know, so like that's the sort of vibe I wanted from them.
I'll say that when I said this to you when we saw it, and I'll say this again on the internet because I feel like, you know, I haven't said enough stupid shit yet.
So, and this happens a lot with artists, is like they'll make an album and there's kind of like teetering between two sounds, and you always obviously hope they're gonna go for the one that you like. Yeah, so I like the heavier sound, and so 5 Seconds of Summer 5 they teetered the opposite way, which wasn't bad. I just like the heavier stuff. It's kind of like off their first album, like I like She Looks So Perfect, and like you could tell that had the bones to be heavier, but like it was their first album. It was very much like industry management had a hand in it. So like, but like that album's fine and I liked it. So, and it has one of the best 5 Seconds of Summer songs ever.
We're not talking about the same song. Okay. Just making sure.
So I just hope with their next album we get some more heavier sounds. Or like a heavy, just like 1 or 2 heavier songs.
I don't know when we'll get a new album though.
Probably be a while.
Probably be.
I'm gonna be. Have we clarified if Luke got married or not?
I don't know.
Okay.
I won't buy it until I see an Instagram post about it, because that's how we.
But they're like real low key.
Yeah. So,
we went to see them.
Yes, last night
In the, what was it called? It had a weird name. Not a weird name, but like, it wasn't a fun name. The amphitheater I went to go see Fallout. This is kind of related because the amphitheater we went to here looks like the amphitheater in West Palm, where I went to go see Fall Out Boy. And it used to be the Perfect Vodka Amphitheater, which is a great name. And now it's like the, I think, Financial Amphitheater. And like, obviously this got something to do with money, but like.
This one has changed names. I know what it was. I don't know.
It was an amphitheater.
It was an amphitheater.
It was.
Amphitheater should be illegal in Arizona because.
I don't think so. I had a great time.
It was really bad. Like when the sun went down, it was fine. But when the sun was up,
some people put wool socks on me, and I am attributing that to 95% of my issues. But once the show started, I was okay. Even standing up, like I didn't get hot standing up or anything. Okay. They had fans, to be fair.
They had fans. They had big old fans.
Like even in Florida, it's humid, so it's nasty when the sun goes down. But also, to be fair, we had a thunder warning and a lightning warning.
For like, so it was 30 seconds.
Yes, but that'll cool it off.
Yeah.
If it rains, it'll cool off. And so it was nice and breezy. I was out on the lawn. So, anyway, what was the opener? Meet Me at the Altar?
Meet Me at the Altar.
I had fun. I didn't know any Meet Me at the Altar songs.
No idea what was going on, but I had fun.
She had really fun hair. And so now Eleanor's trying to convince me to do my hair green. And unfortunately, I'm a little bit convinced. And I would listen to them.
Okay.
Elanor wouldn't.
I had fun.
They had fun. They put on a good little show. They sang a couple of covers, like half covers.
Yeah.
Because they were like, this is the second to last show. And I was like, damn, no. I didn't realize it was the second last show.
Me either.
But to be fair, I kind of, I like 5 Seconds of Summer. I check in on 5 Seconds of Summer maybe once or twice a year. So,
yeah, they're not.
I'm not following them. Partly for my own mental health. Part of that is emotional reasons. So Meet Me at the Altar was on. They did maybe an hour, not even. No, not even, because the show started at 7:45.
Yeah,
and they were off before 8:30. I know that.
Yeah, they were probably 30-45.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting. But they're an all-girl group. I thought was fun. More all-girl groups, just in general. More all-girl groups in rock, punk rock, pop rock, whatever you want to qualify this as. They were very much going. Well, the lead singer was very much going for an early 2000s pop punk aesthetic, And then I feel like the drummer and the guitar player were going for a very like 2010 pop punk aesthetic. They did not talk before they got dressed.
No.
But it worked.
But neither did Five Seconds of Summer.
No. Speaking of.
At all.
That's who we saw.
Yes.
They came on stage.
Yes.
They opened with Bad Omens. Great song.
Great song.
Luke was wearing like a full suit because he was. And like, not to sound, I believe everyone in a band is equally important, especially a band like 5 Seconds of Summer. They all play their own music instruments. They like collect, like the band is them, you know what I mean? It's not like a lead singer pulled in a bunch of people to be in a band with him. But unfortunately, because he's your lead singer and he's your frontman, the rest of you need to match his vibe.
You have to be consistent. Like,
he was wearing a full suit. Michael was wearing a button-up shirt and pants. Were they jeans or were they just pants? Probably were jeans.
I think they were jeans. But it was.
Callum was wearing a t-shirt and pants, but like big t-shirt, big pants. And then Ashton, which I will forgive him, he's the drummer. It's hot up there. He's doing a lot. Cut off tank. I think pants. I don't think he had shorts.
I don't think it was cut off. I think the sleeves were just rolled up.
No, it went down. It
did?
like full cut off. Yeah. And it said Arizona.
Probably good for me that I didn't see that. Yeah, I did. It was really cute. I remember for a while, Penny's had an Arizona hoodie.
Yeah.
And I saw people wearing it, but I never saw it in the store, and it really pissed me off.
I love Penny's. Anyway, they opened with Bad Omens and then went straight into 2011.
Which I did not know.
I don't think they took a break between the first 4 songs. They went Bad Omens 2011, Caramel, Blender. Which I like knew the words to, but if you asked me, I couldn't tell you what song was what. Maybe Blender. I know Blender. The chorus does say Blender.
I know Blender a lot.
So like I knew bits and pieces of the songs. I had a good time. It was good song. They were much better live, which like everything is, but like I did enjoy them a lot more live. There was some more gusto in there. Callum Hood was in front of my face. It was really hard for me to have a bad time. I saw photos of some of the earlier shows and Callum was wearing like a cutoff tank and I was like, for everyone's sake, I need him to have a full t-shirt on when we go to see him, and thankfully the universe listened to me. He had a full t-shirt.
The universe listened to you.
It was still bad for me, but like much better than if his shoulders were out. So
yeah, they did a little there were the 2 big screens on the side. And they zoomed in too many times. I got it was not good for my little heart.
That was my thing. They zoomed in on Callum a lot at the beginning, and then when I thought they should have, they weren't. But it was a bunch of close up. It was him playing the bass, and then it was a close up on Michael playing the guitar. I was like, wait, relax. I
think every concert needs a hand cam, but that's just me.
I would like to clarify. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. I think we were talking about 5 Seconds of Summer and Måneskin, and I think it's very easy for bands like that to be chalked up to, and like we're doing it now. They're cute, right? Like they're cute boys. They're conventionally attractive, if nothing else. Oh, teenage girls just listen to them, and that's why they're famous, right? Because teenage girls think they're cute. But like, Michael Clifford's a good guitar player. Callum's a good bass player.
And it's also like teenage girls have taste.
Yes, listen, like, who do you think was listening to? Listen, I'm just saying, it wasn't a bunch of old men listening to Bon Jovi when Bon Jovi was popular.
No. I'm sorry, yeah.
Who was frequenting the Led Zeppelin concerts?
Who do you think got the Beatles as big as they are? Really, truly, they made a new word because of how crazy teenage girls were about them, and
like the fans of them are old now. You know why? Because they were young then.
Young and back in the good old days.
Oh, and you know, actually, this is kind of related. It could be just because men dominate the space, because I was watching this little video about why we say, or how like the phrase well-behaved women don't make history has been co-opted by the wrong people, because a lot of times it's taken as like an excuse to act out essentially and just be like, oh, I'm in my villain era, but it's okay because well-behaved women don't make history. But basically the historian who coined that phrase was saying that like it's because they weren't allowed to, because if you look at like post-colonial documents, things like court records, yes, okay, things like court records were men, because women weren't allowed to own property. Women, not filing for divorce. Like, they didn't have the right to do anything, so they wouldn't be in these court documents unless they were doing something like prostituting or like something not well behaved. So if you think about it in that sense, okay, yeah, young men and women were listening to the Beatles when they were popular, but now we only hear about the old men because no one was listening to them.
Because they won't shut the hell up.
Exactly. So anyway, Ashton is a good drummer.
Ashton's such a good drummer.
Luke's a good singer. I think he's a decent guitar player, but like his primary function is singing. So
I feel like they aren't. Well, maybe I'm just more disconnected from their like active goings on, but I feel like they're not getting the boy band allegations as much as they were in the beginning. I think they cut themselves from One Direction pretty quickly.
Youngblood was probably the trail end of that. Yeah. Calm for sure. I didn't hear anything like that on Calm. No. I think they were old enough. I think they'd taken a long enough break between Youngblood and Calm to like
rejuvenate.
Yeah. And I think like if you wait long enough, there's a new boy band always coming up, so they were no longer in the. Yeah. But like same thing with Måneskin. Måneskin's like,
are they getting boy band allegations or
they're not getting boy band, but like I think it'd be very easy to be like, oh, they're, especially because they're European, they don't wear a lot of clothes, which like is fine, but like, you know,
are they popular?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Or and like also probably
like
easy
here.
Yeah. Also, it's probably very easy to chalk them up to like not being a good band because their big song was a cover. Coming off of Eurovision Song Contest, which is a big thing.
Like America here?
I think so.
Huh.
Like they did
it on the radio?
Yeah.
Oh.
I listened to the Alt Station. I mean, it was mostly begging, but like, to be fair, I don't listen to the radio too much. But I imagine since that last album came out, it was in English for like, let's say it was 15 songs, 12 of them.
They were on Saturday Night Live, which doesn't always like mean something, but it is. Okay.
And like they were big enough to do a tour here, and usually America gets all the attention. I don't think they didn't do a big America. I don't get the feeling they didn't do a big America tour because they weren't popular. I get the feeling they didn't do a big America tour because they're European. So like they're like, that's my concern.
Okay,
they can do a big US tour some time.
It's just I don't know anybody else who knows them, but also like I don't have the greatest, the widest demographic to pull.
No, like my friend, her sister went to go see them and said they were really good. But like, I think they're popular enough.
Incredibly lying to you. One of my coworkers went to go see them. I don't know what I'm talking about.
They're popular enough,
from her teenage daughter.
For Italian bands.
Okay. Maybe I'm dumb.
Especially for like a non-American band, I think they're pretty big in America.
Okay.
But yeah, we could chalk them up like, oh, they just did a good cover, kind of riding the high of winning Eurovision Song Contest. It doesn't hold a lot of weight here, but still,
you're any weight here.
But like, you're still like you're getting promotion. You know, you're running with the steam. But like they're a good band. Anyway, all of that said and done. Bad Omens 2011, Caramel, Blender. Any thoughts on those?
Blender is my favorite song off the album.
Really?
It's one of, I just think it's very fun, and it was as fun. I was scared that it wouldn't be as fun live as it is recorded, but it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun.
They looked like they were having a good time. They were bouncing around.
They were bebopping.
No offense to Fall Out Boy, they're older, and like they've been touring a long time, and they're older. That's hard. Listen, I don't think I could jump around on the stage for 2 hours for months at a time. I couldn't walk for longer than 10 minutes. Yeah. So like, but 5 Seconds of Summer is still young enough that they're like getting into it, having a good time. They're like, I don't think they're in their 30s yet.
Okay,
but they're like getting there.
Okay,
they're not too far. Listen, I tweeted that one time when they had the When We Were Young Fest, and they were on it. I said that's really funny that 5 Seconds of Summer's on the When We Were Young tour because they were young when we were young.
Okay.
Then after Blender, we go into Easier. No Notes. Fantastic song. Elanor said something very unhinged, but I think she should say it now also.
Okay, so Easier from the Vault. They're in this cave, and Luke Hemmings is tied up by his wrist. He's like basically dangling by his wrists from the cave roof. And they didn't truss him up to perform live when we saw him.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
That's the only way that song should be performed.
The only way that song should be performed. It doesn't have to be just tie him up.
I'm in a cave. Callum Hood wasn't tied up, so we need some elements for me here.
He'll be there.
In a cave. He'll be there.
Maybe he'll be the one to tie Luke up. Does that work for you?
Song? No. Unfortunately. We'll discuss that later. Bass song.
I don't know if I want to.
I don't think I want to. I'm just trying to get the conversation over it. Easier. That is a song with some bass in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys know who plays the bass in 5 Seconds of Summer. His name is Callum Hood.
What?
He's really good at it.
No way. Is he a new addition to the band?
He's cute. Yeah.
Never heard.
He's their token.
No.
I'm allowed to make that joke, I think. I hope. I'm our diversity hire for this show. Does it count if I hired myself? Because I was the show.
No.
I think so.
I know you're not a diversity hire. You're a strong Black woman entrepreneur. It's a different.
You my diversity hire?
Yes. It's the hair.
Oh yeah. Obviously. So anyway, easier. Also, the crowd was not bad. The crowd was really good. I didn't have any complaints. It was not as many girls our age as I thought it was gonna be. It was like a lot of them.
Yeah.
But not as many. But like, first of all, Elanor and I said every single dude that was in there was with, like, there was no dude that was in there like, let's go like on a guy's night to watch 5 Seconds of Summer or like by himself. There was one guy that was like definitely there with his parents, but he looked young enough. But every other guy was there with his girlfriend. And I was like, if you're trying to pick up a boyfriend, that's a good, because like the one single dude you find, chances are you're probably set.
The only people having a boys' night there were the ones on stage. We got to play a couple rounds of one of my favorite games, which is father and daughter or husband and wife. Nobody wins in that game.
No, my money's always on father and daughter just for my own sake.
Yeah.
But.
And also, every single man who was there was like with a woman carrying him around like an accessory, which I just love.
He's being put to take photos. He's being dragged behind. He's holding the drinks.
He's
had
holding the march.
Task.
Yeah.
And
but I like cute outfits. Sorry, I will say most of the guys that I saw around us knew the lyrics, which doesn't usually happen.
No, I was gonna say I don't think they like came just because their girlfriends were there, but like no single dude came. Like no guy came by himself. No. You know.
There were some really cute outfits. I'm really appreciating that concerts are getting a lot more sparkly.
Yeah, one girl was very brave. She was wearing a leather jumpsuit and like I would wear a leather top, maybe leather pants.
Leather. Let's be real.
Still, but I wouldn't wear like a whole connected.
No, you would.
Unit.
You'd turn into an up. Oh.
I always wonder about tour outfits because like you want to look fun, right? Like if you're performing on stage, you want to look fun.
But it's also gotta be light and breezy.
Work. Yeah.
You know what? I can't imagine. Like when I saw Taylor Swift, Five Sauce didn't change their outfit. Like they put a hat on once, and there was like 30 seconds where they were in robes.
Yeah, I sat down for a little bit, and then when I stood back up, Michael had a hat on. I don't know when that happened. He just had a backwards cap on. I asked Elanor, who was standing up the whole time.
But I was definitely looking at Michael Clifford the whole time. But anyway, like Taylor Swift changed. She has like whole outfit changes, like shoes, everything.
But even that I think it's a little different. Sorry.
I cannot imagine doing all the cardio and all the working out that is required to be doing that, and then have to go change clothes. Changing clothes when your body is already disgusting is the worst feeling in the entire world. And I can't imagine the intense amount of either extra outfits or laundry that you'd need to do all of those outfit changes.
Duplicates of everything.
Yeah, you've got it.
I was gonna say it's a little different because she's like a one-woman show. It's a production she's putting on.
That's
How long
true.
is her show? To be fair,
3 hours.
Yeah.
Five Summer was really short.
Really short. They didn't do a lot. It wasn't like it felt like it was cut off. It just they like
just
went
music.
to the songs.
Yeah.
They didn't do a lot of talking. I was gonna say Fall Out Boy. The whole they didn't change entirely. Pete did this. He came out in a skirt and a hoodie, and then at one point he goes, "I'm cold," so then he disappeared and put pants on. Then after Easier, we go into Babylon, which is what I was talking about. Babylon and Empty Wallets for me.
Okay, yeah,
very
that's
similar
fair.
vibes. Like them a lot. Callum song. My man was singing. He was playing the bass, and I was there.
That's all you need.
No notes. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of notes for this whole set.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a lot of the same thing. But
any thoughts on Babylon? Burn too bright. Now the fire's going. So hold down.
Good song.
Yeah.
I think I also would have preferred Empty Wallets with Babylon.
This was the next.
It's punchy.
Yeah. I did like that they did give me whiplash, okay? Mm-hmm. But I liked how we started. I liked that we started with the new album. They weren't like slow songs, but they weren't, I wouldn't say the loudest either. Blender probably was the hypest out of the most hype out of all of those. We go into Easier, which is groovy. It's gritty. It's not loud, but like it's different. It's got a punchier sound. Babylon, also, so we're kind of coming back in time. We're working back in the album and the discography, but still punchy. We go to If Walls Could Talk. Not as punchy, but still fun. Kind of bringing up the energy. We go to She's Kinda Hot. Again, stupid fun song. It's lots of fun. Do you want to know what they followed She's Kinda Hot with?
Think of the worst song they could follow She's Kind of Hot with.
And it wasn't like, she's kind of hot.
Here's a little speech.
Blah, blah, blah. Thanks so much for having us. No, it was she's kind of hot.
2-second break. Amnesia.
And I remember earlier I said I wanted to hear Amnesia live. Not like that.
No.
I think we could have started with Amnesia even.
Yeah.
Maybe ended with it. Terrible idea.
Give me a warning first. Like,
oh, like they gave a couple speeches. Callum one time was like, oh, like we're really grateful. We've been doing this band for 12 years. This is the first amphitheater we played in when we played in it 9 years ago or whatever. It's like, thank you so much for welcoming us. Luke was like, we're all the way from Australia, so really appreciate you guys welcoming us to your country and to your state. That would be a nice little interlude.
Yeah.
Say that. Thanks so much,
calm
guys.
us down a little bit.
We've been playing for 12 years. We're so grateful to be here. Here's a slow one for you.
Yeah.
Amnesia. Would I have been emotionally prepared? Still,
No.
no. But
do
coming
you
out
need
of
to go
she's
into
kind of hot.
Yeah.
She's kind of hot, though. I drove by all the places.
You say, hey, I'm getting wasted. I thought about our last kiss, how it felt, the way you tasted. Don't pull that out of nowhere. Yeah. Because I don't understand how I looked at the set list beforehand and then was still shocked that they played the songs that were on the set list.
I didn't look at the set list beforehand on purpose. I was like, I feel like I should because I didn't listen to 5 Seconds of Summer 5 that much. But I was like, whatever. I'll figure it out. I've heard all of the songs at least twice. And I was just hoping they would play the ones I knew. But they stayed later. But Amnesia? That's a gut punch. I was expecting them to play it, just not right then. I heard the beginning chorus. I was like, nah. I didn't even see them break out. I didn't notice he had swapped to an acoustic guitar. So I thought he was just playing. And I was like, wait a second. What are we doing?
Hold on a minute.
And then we went to Carousel. So back in the discography. Fun. I like Carousel. Nice
Forward in the...
Yeah, back. Sorry, back the other way. We went back and then we went forward again.
Yeah.
Hoppity skippity.
Album.
And then Hootie. Did they did Hootie?
They sang Hootie. They did a little bit of it.
I was gonna say they cut it off.
They cut off quite a few of these. They just kind of...
They did breeze through it, yeah.
Yeah, which fair enough.
Which is fair. Also, Who Do You Love is them and the Chainsmokers.
Yeah.
And I like the part of it that they sing.
Me
the
too.
rest of it,
it's fun
to go without. Then we go to Vapor. So, still kind of keeping in the theme of Amnesia, but I feel like we should have gone maybe Amnesia Vapor.
yeah,
that sort of
keep
vibe.
it. Yeah.
So I feel like we should have done She's Kind of Hot, maybe then Carousel, maybe then Vapor, then Amnesia. I would have seen the vision.
Yeah.
Kind of toning it down. Okay, we went from punchy
you gotta
and loud
give us
and gritty. Yeah, you can't just go, She's Kind of Hot. Do you want to die? Which is what they did. But I survived.
And we did.
Then we went to Waste the Night.
Good song.
Which is, I think, I wouldn't say underrated because I see a lot of people online talk about it, but I still feel like it's underrated.
I feel like it's not well known at the very least.
It's not one of the ones they champion.
No.
And then we went to Don't Stop,
which is one they actively hate.
But it's fun, and I think it's the perfect song because after Don't Stop they do the dice, which is where you pick your secret little your show's secret song. So Don't Stop going into that great. Now on the dice, what is on there?
On the dice, Heartache on the Big Screen, Heartbreak Girl, English Love Affair, Wrapped Around Your Finger, two other ones. Voodoo Doll? Yeah, I think Voodoo Doll's on it.
Yes, Voodoo Doll.
And then there's another one because it's Six Sided Die, but
yeah.
I remember there was one that I didn't know, so.
Important.
Okay, here's the thing.
We had a little bit of a bet going.
English Love Affair is probably my favorite 5 Seconds of Summer song ever in the entire world. And also...
Also, fun fact, I've never heard this before, but I feel like it's going to be really interesting.
English Love Affair is allegedly,
that's very important,
about Gemma Stiles, who is the sister of Harry Styles.
Oh my god, the One Direction guy?
Who was in One Direction, and 5 Seconds of Summer toured with them.
I've never heard this in my life.
I know. Apparently it's about Ashton Irwin and Gemma having a little English love affair. I say that every single time the song comes up.
The song comes up. Ashton Irwin comes up. Harry Styles comes up. Harry Styles' sister. Anything to do with that.
England.
The
color red.
The word love affair.
The word love. The word affair.
Yeah. So, Anyway, that's your fun fact for
It's your fun fact.
forever.
And
my pick off the dice was Wrapped Around Your Finger, because as I said earlier, okay, it's not on, like, it was on streaming. It wasn't on streaming, and then it was for very briefly, and like right now it's on my Spotify playlist, but it's grayed out, so it's back off streaming again for some reason. So like the only way you can listen to it is just like I listen to the same YouTube video every single time. It's like
probably happened for the last 10 years.
yeah, it's a lyric one. It like puts the images of whoever's singing at the time.
One of those.
And I told Elanor if they picked Wrapped Around Your Finger, that's a win for her still, because I thought she would get, like, we both knew we'd get insane if they picked our songs, right? But Michael sings all of Wrapped Around Your Finger.
And one thing about Elanor is they're a Michael girl.
Yes.
Through and always have been, unfortunately always will be. Love and respect to his future wife. I hope they have a great life together. They're married?
They're married.
That's right. Well, he will. Yeah, she'll also be his wife in the future.
Okay.
Future child, current wife, future child. Anyway, hope he's very happy. If he's ever not happy.
And so they're doing the dice, right? And they're like, okay, if it lands, if you get it back to the stage,
yeah, it's a big like inflatable dice.
Yeah. So they toss it in the crowd. Okay, Luke launches in the crowd. He looked like he had a really hard time doing it. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, for the second to last show of the tour, he should. It wasn't that way.
It didn't go that far. But they're like, yeah, I think it was like 80 seconds. Something. It was a weird time. It was like 80 seconds. So like they had a big countdown on the two screens. So like, okay, you have to get it back to the stage by the time the timer runs out on whatever song it lands on. That's what we're doing. If you don't get it back to the stage in time, we're picking. Okay? The people in the pit didn't have any hand-eye coordination because we almost lost the dice. First of all, Luke tossed it to stage left, okay? So it's over here. It did not leave stage left in the pit.
The whole time.
Okay? At about like 40
No, it almost left.
No, I'm not done. At about 40 seconds, they start sending it back to the stage. I don't know what happened. It started going back left. It went to the very edge of the crowd. It was like working its way to the side of the stage where no one was there. It's like the speakers.
Like security.
And security. So some guy on the stage was like trying to swat it back in place, and Luke's like, oh my God, we're losing it. And like the timer's long run out. Okay, we're just trying to get it back on stage. But to get it back on stage, it's flipping. It's teetering. We see English Love Affair at the top. It's teetering some more. They give it one little shove because it's kind of tipping. I can't decide where it's gonna go. It lands. I knew what it said, but Luke flips it forward to face the crowd, and it's Wrapped Around Your Finger. And then I screamed for a really long time. I don't think I've ever jumped for joy. I did.
I don't think I've ever seen you smile.
God, I was. Listen, God is good. The universe looks out for me. Nothing ever goes wrong in my life.
Maisie Peters once said, the universe is shifting and it's all for me.
All for me. That's why you gotta manifest, and I manifested that. Because I'm sure I haven't been following it closely, but like, I never hear Wrapped Around Your Finger getting picked for the dice song.
Yeah, I knew they'd done English, which also, I have a bone to pick with the whole, you get it back on the stage or we'll pick. They definitely turned that dice a couple of times once they got on. They did not.
It was tipping to English Love Affair and something else, because English Love Affair and Wrapped Around Your Finger weren't on the two sides that was tipping. Michael shoved it again, and then it was tipping, and they left it alone.
I'm just saying, they manhandled a lot for we pick random chance.
Yeah, they were picking. They wanted you to feel like you. First of all, okay, no offense, it's not our fault. The pit, we ran out of time. That wasn't our fault. They had no hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, we weren't in the pit. We were over on the bench.
Yeah. Going. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, to be fair, I think the people around us got a little bit more heated. I feel, they were handing out drinks in little fish cups.
Yeah.
A lot of alcohol. Really cute. I'm sure their whole fan base most of their fan base can probably buy alcohol now, so
Anyway, moral of the story is I win. And Elanor won because Michael sings Wrapped Around Your Finger.
He does.
And he does in that like whiny pop punk voice he's got. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard She Looks So Perfect, Mikey's demo? Okay, listen to if you're a Michael girl, listen to She Looks So Perfect with Mikey's demo. They have a demo for each of them where it's just them singing most of the song. Doesn't know.
I'm really glad I didn't know that before today.
Yeah. But Wrapped Around Your Finger is like, when they do the Teenage Dream cover, Wrapped Around Your Finger is Michael doing that voice basically.
Yeah, it is. And it's
and it's good.
And there was just a lot of
I don't think I could tell you what happened during that song.
I can, but I wouldn't be able to express it in words.
Throwing rocks at your window. Also, I really like that song because it's so simple, but he's like I'm wrapped around your finger. I'm wrapped around your. He's like pleading with her. You had me wrapped around your finger. I'm wrapped. Listen, I don't know why that song is so good. It's so simple. It is literally just Michael singing.
But it's so good.
So good. It's not like even like instrumentally, it's not their best song.
Oh, vocally, it's not their best song.
Vocally, it's not their best song.
It's not. It's just their best.
I don't know what it is about it.
It's really good. It's really good. It's just solid.
And then also, I think because like you're begging for crumbs when it comes to Wrapped Around Your Finger, because like it's hard to get like Heartbreak Girl. You can listen to. They don't like to play it live, but you can listen to it. I gotta go to a YouTube video. You know what that's like?
But consider, you call me up, just like a broken record, so that your heart hurts, that you'll never get over. I'm getting over you.
Yeah, but you have me wrapped around your finger. He sounds sad.
He does.
I love when a man is sad. We love men and respect them. Here, don't quote me on that. But however, a sad man and a stupid man and a tall man.
I don't.
And I think they went through all of those at some point in time. I respect men
love
here.
When a man is in distress. Does that count?
Yeah, we went over that when we talked about Easier, and he went and looked to be chained up. That's the only way he should perform that song. Per Elanor. Oh, when did they do this was probably after. So anyway, we do Wrapped Around Your Finger, which I know was a random song, but I did think it fit in well with the set list they were doing already, because we were kind of toning it down. And then after Wrapped Around Your Finger, we get Ghost of You. You know what? I get why they did Amnesia earlier, because imagine if they did Amnesia, Ghost of You, or Ghost of You, Amnesia. Any of those two back to back, and then they had thrown Wrapped Around Your Finger in there?
You would have been...
Half the crowd would have had to leave.
Yeah. After Wrapped Around Your Finger, I think anything could have happened, and you would have just been the same amount of...
Yeah. Oh, my night did not get better. That was my peak. No, I had an okay night, actually. I'll be honest with you. I did. I missed part of Jet Black Heart, which is later. Spoiler.
But that's way later.
But that's probably for the best, because I had heard Amnesia and Ghost of You and Wrapped Around Your Finger.
Ghost of You is
Ghost of You is good.
Is really sad.
I said this last night, and I feel kind of bad saying it, but when an artist writes a breakup song, but then they're like happy in a relationship when they're on tour, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm ever gonna get the true emotion of this like I did when you recorded it.
You gotta tap into.
I'm happy they're happy, but I need him to be sad to sing Ghost of You. You know? Or like Callum sang Amnesia, and he could have sounded sadder.
He could have. It's good that he didn't, but he could have.
But again, that for the safety of the crowd and our emotional well-being as a unit, best that we didn't do that.
Yeah.
After Ghost of You.
Want you back?
We're bringing it up a little bit. We're still a little sad in tone. We're kind of getting to the not funk. I don't know. I guess it's funky. Youngblood was like punchy and kind of funky. Groovy. A nice little groove.
Yeah, Want You Back is really groovy.
Youngblood had a lot of bass. I know I keep talking about the bass, but that's the best way for me to describe a song being groovy. It had nice rhythm going. Rhythm section was rhythm sectioning. Okay. Literally. So Want You Back, we're bringing back up the energy, but we're still a little sad. We're still a little emo about it. I'm always gonna want you back, no matter where I go.
And then...
Oh, God.
One of the best 5 Seconds of Summer songs.
I'm surprised this wasn't on the dice.
I'm glad it wasn't, because
I'm glad this was a staple.
If this was dangled in front of me, nobody would have liked me.
You should have seen her with English Love. I did not like you then either.
That's fair. They played Disconnected, which is from their second album.
She Looks So Perfect?
Yeah.
I think their first album. I think 5 Seconds of Summer, their self-titled is their second one. I could be wrong though. It's from their first or second. It's early. It's early. I think they wrote it. It is from She Looks So Perfect era.
I think they wrote it with All Time Low, which now, but...
I'm going to say something controversial. All Time Low are bad people, and we should not give them money. all-time
They
low
have some bangers.
bangers.
They have some bangers.
They have that song with Krista Vale.
They have that song with Krista Vale that was really good.
Dear Maria,
Dear Maria
Umbrella
is kind of
cover. I know they didn't write that, but like
they
that's the
did
version I
put
listened
their
to.
whole all-time low in it.
And I will not stream their music.
No.
I will not play it.
No.
But sometimes I will get emo about the lyrics in my head.
And I will listen to Disconnected if I ever really truly feel like I need it. Disconnected is so good. I like listening to Disconnected when I'm happy, but I like it more when I'm a little sad. And, you know, not to be like, sometimes you live far away from everybody that you like. And then...
Don't worry, I'm going to get into the next one.
You're in the same room as somebody that you really like. You know, things, you know, it's fun.
Things happen.
Okay, well, don't put it like that.
What were they doing at 18 that they were so sad?
Thank you. There's no reason to be writing Amnesia at that age. Because beside you? What are you doing?
I was sad at 18, but not about a boy.
No.
So like, I could have written the next song they sang, I think, at 18. But like, I wouldn't have written, I drove by all the places we used to hang out getting wasted. I couldn't have done that. It wouldn't have been authentic. And so like, and the fact that it like still hits now, because sometimes it's in the music and you're like, that really hit when I was 16,
like,
17,
going
hot,
through it. I can't do anymore.
No, I like it because it's a fun, stupid song. Yeah. Honest, like on live, it's fun. It's a nice song to throw in there. But,
like, I can't listen to it on my free time.
Worst place to put it in the set list, I would like to reiterate. But yeah, sometimes listen to songs at 16, 17. We listen to them now. You're like, they're still good. They stand up. It's just not. That's not what I'm going through anymore. Okay, but why were they like? I might be going through that now. Why were they going through that at 18? Who hurt them?
Somebody Australian, probably.
I need to talk to them because look at them now. I now the song that I could have written when I was 18 is "You Don't Go to Parties," which is off their most recent album, and that song made me a little emo. It's not really an emo song because it is about missing someone. Yeah. But they have the line where he says, "Always stay. I've got the last 5 years running out my mouth. Always stay too late. I should kick me out." And I don't know if you've ever felt like you talked too much. Or like,
I personally
never had that problem.
Never had that problem.
Or like when you're very self-conscious, which I was when I was a teenager, you think when you have a conversation with someone that the other person is going home thinking, "Oh my god, that person was really weird and stupid." And like, no one's doing that. Nobody cares. They're worried about themselves. So I could have written that at 18. Yeah. That was not a good song. Like, that was a good song for me to hear live. That is my favorite off of that album. That is one of the songs I added to my playlist after listening to that album. But just emotionally, I had heard Amnesia. I was... Wrapped Around Your Finger was really complicated for me because that was the song I really wanted to hear, and I was really glad they played it, and I think it's a great song, no notes, but also it is not a happy song. No, it's not. It's a little bit of an emotional downer. Mm-hmm. So like I was hyped up, but like my deep down emotions were not. So then I had to listen to "You Don't Go to Parties," which was also a lot. Which also reminds me of, I can't remember which one it is, where he starts the song with, "Is it lonely where you are? All the way across the room." What's that one?
That's
it's off the same album. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blender, same vibe.
Yeah.
Because he's like, "I'm in this party looking for you and you don't go to parties
But
anymore."
Blender has that sound that is just, that's a technical term, just so you know.
So it's me going bass, 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 bass. Mm-hmm. Correct. Not a lot of bass in "You Don't Go to Parties," but still, good song. So good. Then "Me, Myself, and I," which is again a fun song, but like lyrically a little sad. Yeah. I don't love it. I do and I don't. Yeah. It's on my playlist, but I skip it like half the time it comes up. I think they put it in a good place here. I do think this was a nice follow-up to "You Don't Go to Parties." Again, it was a little bit more energy, a little bit higher energy than "You Don't Go to Parties," but still kind of keeping the same theme. Because then we go into "Why Won't You Love Me?" which I always forget exists because I always think of "Lie to Me," which I like. But "Why Don't You Love Me" is so much better. So much better. And it had a nice little graphic going on for the "Why Don't You Love Me" part on the back. So like to the lyrics. Mm-hmm. So like, "Why don't you love me? Pretend you're with me on the other side." So
is this the airplane mode song?
Don't. The what song?
The airplane mode one?
No.
No? Which one's that?
Maybe. Yes. Yes it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay.
You need to give more details when you ask questions.
I knew what I meant.
I didn't.
Well, I did once I got there.
And then back to, I know they are good at making music. They need to stop looking sad on the stage.
Yeah.
It's not good for anybody. I don't think just me. I don't think that's good for anybody. Because you're like, I love these songs, but they make me sad, and you're sad too. You're singing the song and you're sad too. But he did give it. That was another one. He like they obviously step back from the mic sometimes and let the crowd sing. So that was one of them. And I was like, well, I don't need to hear crowd people sing like that. We don't all need to be going through it collectively at the same time.
At the same time.
Then actually, this might have been the worst song they played for us personally. Now I don't know if you guys know this. We're friends.
No, we don't know each other. We've never met before today.
But when we like the same music, we like the same music.
Yeah.
Like 5 Seconds of Summer is where our music crosses over. We like 5 Seconds of Summer a lot. We've never been to a concert together, which I didn't
really cop on until we were in line.
And then they sang Best Friends off of their latest album. And I don't know if you know what that song's about.
Yeah.
Just based off the title.
Yeah.
But
It's
I've
difficult.
got the best friends in this place. And sometimes you hypothetically there was 2 people in the crowd, and one of them was the 2 of them were best friends with each other, and they just seemed like they were really connecting with the lyrics and each other as the song was being sung, forehead to forehead.
Oh yeah, that's.
But I don't know who those people are.
No.
But they looked like they needed that. And I'm glad they had that moment.
Me too.
I would like to move very quickly on.
Yeah.
Then we went to Meet You There.
Just has a great...
Yeah, if I'm going to a live show, I prefer songs where they sing the whole time, if that makes sense. Like Meet You There, Why Don't You Love Me, both have those sort of like electronic-y breakdowns. But coming at the end of the show, kind of picking up the energy, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're kind of at the like, we're dancing, we're moving, we're having a good time, we're trying to, have our last little hurrah before the show ends. Then when they went to Teeth.
Teeth was worse for me to hear than Best Friends. Teeth was way worse for me to hear than Best Friends. Like
Teeth,
Best Friends, no. I was kind of prepared for. Teeth, I wasn't.
I think if Teeth was played first, then Best Friends would have been really good.
Yes, yeah. I
because
think that was
the
a good
entirety
order.
of Best Friends applies to the hypothetical people in the crowd.
Yeah.
Who were going through it. But not all of Teeth.
Not all of
It's
Teeth.
just in Teeth he says, sometimes when I look at you, I see my wife. And those 2 people look like they were married in every way but romantically and legally. So all the ways that count. And so hearing the line, sometimes when I look at you, I see my wife, is devastating. But like you can get through the rest of the song and be like,
yeah, the rest
fine.
of the song is, yeah. But then also he talks about like having a heart in the hand still bleeding, and like hands and hearts and gore and
if you remember
blood
when we were talking about Hosier last week,
just they're all like, the wires are definitely all in my head, but they're not where they're supposed to be. I think they're supposed to look like this, but mine are kind of yeah.
some are unplugged.
No, they're plugged in too tight, I think, is the problem.
I do also think Teeth would have been worse if it had immediately followed Easier. Because have you ever done Easier from the vault, Teeth from the vault? Either order, just back to back.
So there was one little section. I think it was before they went into Carousel, maybe? Or Amnesia, maybe?
Maybe Amnesia. They didn't take a long break between She's Kinda Hot and Amnesia, but there was like a little.
But they had the video on the screen where they were doing the medical thing.
That was Amnesia.
That was before. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Still not enough of a break.
No. Well, what happened is it was like this little pre-show video, or I guess it wasn't pre-show. It was like just like an interruption video that they played, and it was shot so like they were all in surgery gear and they were like standing over a gurney, and I thought they were gonna lead into Teeth because that's what it's
I remember the first time I saw
the video was in a dentist office. So I was like emotionally preparing for Teeth.
Yes.
And then they start Amnesia.
That's what happened. They were the surgery didn't go well. We took the flannel off your waist, but you're still wearing skinny jeans.
It was,
and then you hear on the acoustic guitar. What do you mean?
That's what it was. They did stop, and then they I was really hyped
but
for.
They still set, but again, they still set us up.
They set it up for failure
because, again, if they had come off of Vapor even, and then they were like, "Oh, we tried to, but you didn't remove the this black skinny jean." I drove by. Then I'd be like, okay, but she's kind of hot though. We didn't remove the black skinny jean. I drove by all the places.
Yeah, it was not.
And like, you know, sometimes when it's like a sad song or like they're toning down, the artist will be like, okay, like, you know, we're bringing it down. They didn't do that.
No, but that's. I think that's why Amnesia hit me so hard, because I was already preparing for Teeth, which knew preparing for that line, and then I was like, oh.
But yeah, Teeth and Easier are just so low. Again, back to bass. Listen, I don't want anyone to think I'm biased. I just think the bass is the best instrument in a band. It just so happens I just usually also think bass players are cute. That's not my fault.
No,
tell them to stop being cute.
Yeah, no, it's their fault.
The rhythm section's always the best looking band members. I'm sorry. Like, Ashton is not my type. Ashton Plain, the drums in a cutoff tank, little shaggy hair.
Luke's hair was looking really mighty nice. Fine.
It is. Elanor, I'm trying to convince Elanor to cut her hair like that.
No, I'm too close to getting a mullet already. I couldn't do it.
If my hair wasn't curly, I'd do a mullet.
If my hair was curly, I'd do it.
My hair is like bad curly for a mullet.
My hair is just
or like
straight.
That shaggy look Callum Hood had after he was growing out the blonde.
Yeah.
Like last year, I think it was, or maybe earlier this year.
I would
do that.
Like with how straight my hair is, I would go like
the shag. It's all shag.
With straight hair.
After Teeth's a banger. I left during the song, which is probably for the best, because they started singing Jet Black Heart, and there was a really long time after Jet Black Heart came out that was the only 5 seconds of summer song I listened to, and it made me really sad, and I was really sad. And I was like, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, that might be when I got back into them, because I was like, they have depth. Because that's like, it was a lot. Because coming off of like, she looks so perfect. That was like the last like thing I remember actively listening to from them. So to hear Jet Black Heart,
I don't think I think by the time Sounds Good Feels Good came out, I was done. I hadn't heard Jet Black Heart before like a couple weeks ago when I looked at the set list.
I'd heard Jet Black Heart.
And there's a hurricane underneath it.
Trying to keep us apart. And like, not to sound like Kalina was sad or anything when she was younger. It seems to be a reoccurring theme. I was a little sad when I was younger. I felt like my heart was a little jacked up and no one understood me, right? Which like everybody goes through. So you know, you feel very isolated, and that song was
and it's got a line about a match
and a hurricane.
Yeah,
which has a lot of meaning now.
Can't go wrong.
And it also, the video, I think, was like fans in the video cut in with shots of them. Yeah, it's cute. It's nice. I liked the message they were pushing with that song. Another good Michael song too. Listen, when it's time to be whiny and sad, they know who to call. There's only 4 of them, but like
they know who to call.
They know who to call,
and they call.
And when they want you to sound sad but less whiny, they call Callum. And when they want you to sound sad but hot, they call Luke. And then when they want energy, there's Ashton. Then we go into She Looks So Perfect. I appreciate putting that back to back with Jet Black Heart just because they brought the tone down a lot. The only other option was to keep going down.
Yeah,
or
and
shoot her back up real fast. Yeah, what are they going to play again? Amnesia?
Yep.
That's the only way to follow up Jet Black Heart.
They need to do like a Jonas Brothers The Tour, but it's just Amnesia for 3 hours. It's like the end of a cult.
No, we'll just give each of them a chance to sing it, and then we'll do one where each of them sings a different verse. Just swap it
just round robin it until it gives out.
Yeah, which every time you get to it won't even stop the song, right? We'll play the song, and when you get to the last chorus, we just go back to the first verse again.
Yeah.
So we go to She Looks So Perfect. I'm surprised they didn't end on this, but I do like the song they chose to end on just because I like it better. But I think She Looks So Perfect would have been a good ending song. I think that would have been very poetic.
Yeah.
You know, ending your tour on the song that like made you famous. It's a fun song. What can we say about that song that hasn't been said? Everyone knows that song.
Got your name tattooed in an arrow heart.
I got a mixtape shit on 94.
Which, like, I don't think they were alive for that.
I got your ripped skinny jeans. That was my favorite line in the song. What would you eat? Whatever.
When you were, can I ask you a personal question?
No.
Okay. When you were in like middle school, high school, like peak bad Kalina.
Okay.
Did you
She
ever
wasn't
have?
bad. She was sad.
Yeah, okay, bad mental health Kalina, bad Kalina, however you would like to be referred as. Did you ever seriously think that you were born in the wrong generation?
No.
Okay.
That wasn't that bad.
Okay, good.
I just no, because that was also the first time I started listening to music that was not
From your dad?
Yeah, pretty much. That was like when I started listening to like Pierce the Veil and stuff.
Okay.
It's like even though no one else around me was listening to that music, that was still like music that was coming out currently. There was a community around it.
Would have been kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
I would have.
No, I was never born in the wrong generation. So perfect. Then I came back, and it was a bad time to come back because this was another. I don't think I like Sounds Good Feels Good, but the songs I liked off of it, I did listen to a lot. And I remember the first time I heard Outer Space and Carry On, and that falls into like the songs that I wish I could turn my brain off and hear for the first time again, purely because Outer Space is like, okay, it's a good song, but like compared to it's so good. Just the end of it.
It is like a really good song.
Something like the rain. That's how I feel about Wrap Around Your Finger. You know, Wrap Around Your Finger is very simple. It's verse, chorus, like it's repetitive, but like not in a bad way. Same thing with Outer Space. I could listen to Nothing But the Rain, just
over and over
and over again. So here Joe Bros tour, but it's just Amnesia and that part of Outer Space.
I think 5 Seconds of Summer should have a tour where they just let us pick the set list.
Just the dice the whole time.
No, we get to pick.
Oh,
we don't. You and no.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I know you and I specifically.
So anyway, we do Outer Space. Nothing Like the Rain. Nothing Like the Rain. When You're in Outer Space, which is another song that I used to be very sad to. It is very much about being. You're alone in outer space.
It is. I can see
why
why it would
alone
work.
and sad. And then we go on Youngblood. Again, I'm surprised they didn't end with She Looks So Perfect, but the only other option is Youngblood.
Yeah,
I think that's their other big hit.
Huge.
It's
hit.
fun,
and also like they couldn't. I don't think they can do a I don't think they can do a concert now without Youngblood, just because of who they are. I think She Looks So Perfect and Youngblood will probably always be on set lists in some capacity.
And I think they're stand-up songs because obviously they write a lot about relationships, but sometimes you have a song that's like Amnesia. Amnesia's, it's not just the music, it's the content that's the important part of the song. Whereas Youngblood, it's Please Stop Moving. It's vibes. We have a very precarious tripod position, and Eleanor is just shifting it around. We're almost done, I promise. Youngblood is like vibes first, but then it's kind of like also, it's not about a poor relationship, but like, you know, it kind of teetering on the edge because they also don't write love songs in the sense that it's everything's happy go lucky.
Except for Valentine,
Hunky Dory Dandy. They should have played Valentine.
No. You think I could listen?
Take you out. Oh.
You know what they say in Valentine? They say, we love us. And I was already bad enough with...
look at you. I see my life.
Yeah.
But Youngblood is like vibes first, emotion second, you know? So it's fun. And then they wrapped up and they went home. Yeah. It was nice. I really liked it. Yeah, not a lot of costume changes. I was surprised. I thought Mike or Callum was gonna change. Luke was committed to the suit. He took off the suit jacket.
But he was
the second or third song.
He did like a Harry Styles open button up, and it was this really pretty red. It was shiny, and it was good.
Yeah, I thought Michael or Callum were gonna change. That's what they both had pants on. I did not, but it's for the best that they didn't do that for both of us.
Yeah.
And Ashton kind of came out not in a state of undress, but compared to the rest of them, he was undressed.
Michael with the dress shirt that got a little see-through. That was... I had to stop looking at him. That's
probably why you forgot that he didn't realize he put a cap on.
No.
And he had the cap on backwards. I was like, Eleanor, you should have been all over this.
There was a point in time where I realized that to protect the sanity of everybody driving home with me, I had to go.
I mean, I think we should be allowed to. I'll be honest, if we put together a 5 Seconds of Summer perfect set list, I don't think it would be too different. We did our perfect 5 Seconds of Summer album.
And so we hit a lot of the points that we hit.
I was going to have us do a show where we did our perfect set list, but like, it's going to be the album, just longer.
Yeah.
The ones we had to cut out, we throw on there. But yeah, I know my album had teeth. I had easier on mine. had wrapped around your finger on mine.
I definitely had Blender on mine.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I had any of the new songs off of mine. I think I had Castaway on mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think I had Castaway on mine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was good. I think I might have had Amnesia on mine also. My album was not happy. I remember that. My album was very sad. My 303 album was fun.
Oh, yeah. We should see them live.
Yeah. We should do a perfect Hosier album. Hosier.
I've only heard the one album.
Okay, well, it could just be that. I really don't care.
Okay, it's just...
We're gonna throw some Hosier into your rotation. What else could we do? We could do a perfect One Direction on. Well, maybe there's one.
Is your sock on inside out?
No, it looks like it, right? That one might be, actually.
Okay. No, that one looks like it's on inside out.
Yeah, but then I flipped it around and it still looked wrong.
Oh.
Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe it's that one I flipped around. I don't know. I got confused this morning. And then we left the house, right?
We left the house at noon.
Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. This is not a microphone.
Oh, but when I do it, I get laughed at. This is a microphone. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. It was a really good set list. It was a better set list than I was thinking, unfortunately, because they have a lot of songs where like I could do without. But for the most part, I knew the songs and they were good picks. It was a very fun night. I'm really glad I get to keep the little fish cup that my daiquiri was in. And I think getting a little too drunk at a 5 Seconds of Summer concert healed a little part of me that was 13.
Yeah, you know that post that's like the music you like when you're 13 and 14 rips holes in your heart when you're younger, when you're older. That is true, but I wouldn't say 5 Seconds of Summer specifically ripped holes in my heart just because one, I didn't listen to them too much. I didn't hear the early stuff, and then I was like, this is getting kind of poppy. They're associated with One Direction. I'm too cool for that. And I moved on. But I do think I left it a good time because like I don't think I would have wanted to be in that fandom. I thought for me, like, since I've been to a lot of concerts, and by a lot of concerts I mean I went to see Fall Out Boy this summer, and this is more concerts that I've been to in my life. So, I thought they were gonna blow Fall Out Boy out the water for me, and it didn't, because Fall Out Boy put on like a production.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot happening. It's a lot of fun. It's really engaging, even if you don't know their songs. But I knew more songs from them than I did for Fall Out Boy, I think. But because of the songs, I like the songs better. 5 Seconds of Summer won for me, and like they did, like I said, when we did our perfect album, they hit they hit Amnesia, we hit Wrapped Around Your Finger, like they hit Wrapped Around Your Finger. I think if that Dice song was different, maybe my outlook would have been, but like it really couldn't have gone better for me.
No, it really couldn't have. It was really great.
We'll be back next week,
probably.
Well, unfortunately, not together. Maybe together if we are bold tomorrow. What else are we doing tomorrow? We can whip up something. And I have a microphone.
You too.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much for tuning in.
5 Seconds of Summer, if you ever want to go like, I don't know, off the rails, hire us as your managers. And
not you know, we just want to make the set list.
Okay, I will be your stage manager because I know how lights and sound work. And Elanor will be your music consultant?
Are you a recording engineer?
Absolutely not your recording engineer. Elanor cannot upload audio to save her life. But bye, everybody. We're so excited to be here. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Don't quote me on that. One day we'll have an outro, but it's not today.